welcome, guys. My name is Dan Bryan, and I'll be the host of this show that we hope to be bringing to you every now and again. The name of the channel is Mugs on Both, and Mugs on Both exists to be able to take you guys through the journey of the student pilot life, okay? But not only that, also guys in the aviation field in general. We're talking about cabin crew, we're talking about engineers, we're talking about pilots, all the people who are involved in the day-to-day running of aviation and in the aviation field. And we'll be bringing to you different guests each and every opportunity that we get. And today, I have a guest, okay? These are our very first guests on the show. And we hope that we'll be able to take you through the journey of what it actually looks like being a student pilot, because I've just preempted who my guest is going to be today. And we hope to be able to take you through the journey so that and our journey is going to be biased because we're talking about I exist in Kenya, and therefore we'll be taking you through the journey of how people go through the studies in Kenya when it comes to becoming a student, becoming a pilot in Kenya. And with me today, I'm privileged to have a guest on the show, and I will not do much, but I'll ask him to introduce himself. Maybe tell us about where he's from, what his name, and we'll pick it up from there.
Thank you so much, Dan. First of all, I'll start with introducing myself. My name is Nelson Ayuel, originally from South Sudan, but I studied here in Kenya my entire life. And yeah, I'm privileged to be here with you today.
Wow. Yes, so thank you, Nelson. Thank you for coming on the show. And let's start from the beginning for you, okay? Like you've said, you are from South Sudan originally, and you've studied in Kenya throughout your entire life, right?
Yes.
So let's start off from when it came to aviation, how did you decide that you want to do aviation?
Well, actually, it was not in my plans to become a pilot. My career was to become a lawyer, but after some time, I changed my mind. Aviation is a career whereby you look at it and at first I thought I'll never make it.
Mm-hmm.
But after I came to realize that anything is possible, I saw people who were actually my classmates back in high school becoming pilots. So I was like, why not me? I can also do it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give it a try. But it was challenging because my family never wanted me to become a pilot.
Oh.
So,
Okay, let's start from there. So in your family, are you the first aviator? Are you the first person to pursue piloting in your family?
I'm the first one.
You're the first one?
I'm the first one.
So no family, no relatives in the industry?
Nobody.
Okay. So when you're coming into the field of aviation, what are some of the misconceptions that you had possibly, now that you're in it, okay, what are some of the misconceptions that you possibly had about what it actually looks like when you're coming into the aviation field?
My family had that kind of mindset whereby aviation is too dangerous, you can die anytime, that feel like. So when I told them I want to become a pilot, they actually asked me, so you already signed your death certificate, you want to go and die? I was like, people die anywhere. Doesn't matter where you are or anything or what you're doing. So yeah, I had it was too dangerous and it should not be the first priority in your life to become a pilot.
Okay. What about you? Now that's the family.
Yeah.
Who had that misconception? What about you? Did you have any misconception?
Yeah, I had, it was too hard. It requires a lot of stuff. And when I asked what are the things that are required for you to become a pilot, you have to be dedicated. You have to be smart-wise. It comes to ground school and book-wise. So I was like, it's okay. That's okay. But here we are right now talking about it.
Oh, wow. And did you know that flight training was possible in Kenya? Or did you have, or what, explain to us the search when you're now searching for a ground school. What was that like for you?
The people that I reached out to, asking them about aviation the moment that I decided to become a pilot, they had different places. Most of them, they were suggesting South Africa or Ethiopia. And I've never had anybody like, because back then I was back in the country, South Sudan. So I didn't have a lot of friends who I knew were here in Kenya until I went and did my own research. I checked out the schools. And the first place that I went to, it was Kenya, the first country, because, I'm familiar with this country. Yeah, so when I went to check out the schools in Kenya, I searched for the best schools in Kenya, and I found like this. Yeah, I saw the list, and that's when I made up my mind. I was like, okay, instead of going to South Africa or Ethiopia, I'd rather choose Kenya because I'm familiar with it.
And so, how did you go about selecting the school that you're currently studying in?
I check top 5 best schools in Kenya for flying. And when I saw the list, I saw Capital Connect, number 3. I was like, oh, why not? Let me give it a try. And then I also have a friend who was my friend on Facebook, was also in Capital.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I looked through, I saw the videos and everything, I was motivated. I was like, I'm doing this. Immediately, I just contacted them, I emailed them, and the response was so quick that I felt like, oh, wow. So the process wasn't the way that I expected it to be.
Okay, wow. And guys, so just so you know, Capital Connect, this is our main sponsor for the channel. Okay, Capital Connect Aviation is a school that is regulated by Kenya Civil Aviation Authority here in Kenya, and is licensed to offer training in both private pilot license, commercial pilot license, and also they offer also other courses such as cabin crew, engineering, and flight operations dispatch. Okay, so guys, feel free to contact them. They are available check them out on Facebook and IG. Email them, DM them, go in the comment section, like their page, follow them. These are the main sponsors for the channel.
Okay. Also check them out also on TikTok. They're also there. Capital Connect Aviation.
Yes. So take us through the initial enrollment into flight school and what that looked like. So you already had misconceptions about how hard it's going to be, and therefore possibly the things that you're anticipating during that time. So tell us about maybe what you're anticipating and now that enrollment process. So you've emailed them, they've gotten back to you, you're now in class. You've now begun flying. So tell us about, let's take us through. For most people who don't know that flying school is divided into 2. There's the ground school section, and then there's a flight section, right? There's a flight school. So take us through what was it like? What was your journey like when going through ground school and then now maybe transitioning into the flight training?
Yeah, so basically after I requested to join Capital Connect, when I got the reply back, I had to come to fly into Kenya here because back then I was based in South Sudan. So when I came, there are requirements that you need to have for you to join the school now. Those requirements include your grades, and your previous schools where you have been. Plus also you need to have a good contact. So I had all the requirements needed. After I enrolled, I went to ground school. My ground school, at first, what people don't know is that joining aviation, what I had in my mind was that when now you've been accepted in a flying school, you're coming straight to where? To the air side to go and fly. I never knew we have ground school. So the first day I came, I was shown a class, this is your classroom. And I was wondering, why am I in a class I'm supposed to
I'm supposed to be flying.
I'm supposed to be flying. So they took me through, orientation. This is how it's supposed to be. You need to go to ground school for at least 6 months. The good thing is our ground school didn't take that long. It took approximately 4 months. And the experience was nice. I actually enjoyed it, every bit of it, because I was learning new things. So, and in the middle of my ground school, I was actually flying as well. So after I finished my 3 months, now I was able to go and fly. And then that's when while I'm flying, I'm also doing ground school.
Okay.
So I was balancing it.
Wow. So what did, of the things that you possibly thought of, did flying school live up to the hype, or is flying school became another place where you're just going through it.
Then-
It did live to the hype.
To be honest, during my first flight experience, I wanted to quit.
Uh-huh.
I was almost quitting. I wanted to come back. I pack my things and go home because I was actually, at first I was scared. The guy who I flew with the first day, he did for me G-forces. And I had just skipped for a while. I was like, this is not what I signed up for. I want to come and enjoy. But he told me, no, this is what you're going to do. As a pilot, you'll come through all this, no matter what time you'll come. But I'm just showing you what to expect into the future. So I was like, okay, I came, I went to the office. My director was laughing at me. But she just like made me feel like, these are the things, the common things. So
Okay. And you've talked about like feeling like quitting, on your first day. So explain to somebody who has like people always think that you can go there and it will be all roses. Like explain to them, why did you feel like quitting? Apart from the G-forces, why did even that thought come to mind?
because, people think it's that easy to become a pilot or to fly. Imagine being up there. So for me, I thought it was going to be something that I can just do. I took it like a driving lesson or something because, I drive. But my first experience and the challenges that I saw there, by then I was not used to these things of radios, communication and everything. So I could hear tower talking. They're talking to me, yet I'm not even like getting it, whether they're talking to me or someone else. So I'm just there quiet.
Okay.
And those guys, they don't understand whether you're a learner or not because they're working with everybody.
Yes.
So that pressure was too much. Like I felt like, no, I can't do this.
Okay.
I never thought like with time I'll get used to it and everything.
What about the fear? You've talked about fear.
Yeah.
People always think that pilots don't fear. So is that something that you want to tell people?
Fear is there. Like you have to. It's a must. Of course, you cannot just say like, I'm going to fly for the first day and then you see ground there. Okay, you're used to it as a passenger, but not the one in controls. Yeah, but the fear is there. Imagine you're being told like, there's traffic. Why are you looking? Where's the traffic? You don't even see. You're focused on the instrument. So all those stuff, when it comes to your head, like you might get confused and then you feel like it's too much for me. I can't do it.
Okay, and what about now for you? Has it become easier with all the training that you've received up until now? Has it become easier now for you?
Now it's just like I'm enjoying it. Just like
Now you're enjoying it.
I can't even sleep. Why?
So let's talk about now your markers of achievements. When you're going through your licenses. Okay, so you enroll into the school. One of the first licenses that I know that people don't know you get is a student pilot license.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that allows you to be able to be taught